Hello, folks.
Hi there!
So it's another episode of Würfelcast, the last episode of this year, not the entire
True.
series yet. I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe next year
Oh,
the world will end, and no, I'm kidding. Let's not
okay.
let's not dive into
Oh, wonderful.
yeah into this wonderful world of because we were talking about post-apocalyptic games last time. It was about a
We
month ago, of
were.
course. Yeah, there's holidays and etc. So it wasn't we didn't have time to record anything in between. So as the world had ended, but it hadn't. So we're back
All right.
now. Yeah. So this episode is a special one because um, at the end of
Oh,
each year, or usually at the end of the year, I create a geek list of my collection, and I do have a kind of a policy, and this policy is called my 50 games policy, and this 2023 because it's for the next year. So the thing is that yeah, I want to have strictly 50 games in my collection. There are some exceptions and rules about some of this stuff that I'm going to talk about. But mostly, yeah. And sometimes during the year, I end up with a bit more than 50, let's say. And right now, I have around maybe 55, but I'll get to the exact rules. So
I have a
I will
bit more
name.
than 50 as well.
Yeah. You have a bit more than 2,000. Yeah. But the thing is that I want to start the year, or at least during January, I will have time to think about and get rid of some games that are beyond my initial 50. So I usually discuss it in my head within this geek list, and probably we can discuss it here as well. And so I will present you with my collection of games, give you some initial thoughts. I mean the overall thoughts about the game, and Kyle will mock me or my collection or the games and or
I would
agree.
never do so.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'd never do one of those. Our comments are saying that your microphone is a little bit low in comparison to mine.
Yeah, I how about now? Is it? I'm just talking.
It does it sounds better to me now.
Okay, yeah. I talk lower on a
Yeah, I'm
lower
a big
tone,
loud guy.
and yeah. Kyle is a bit louder. But all right, so I hope now it sounds a bit more loud. And yeah, so let me just get to that geek list. You can find this geek list on Board Game Geek. Yeah, this is basically my 50 games policy 2023, and there are some connections to the previous lists. And so I made it some time ago, and then I bought another game. Um, yeah, it's just how it is. It's just how it goes. Let me see just for a moment. Okay, so maybe okay now it might be better. But the thing is, there are rules about mm, this list. So there are, let's say, it says here two main rules of that policy. It's wrong because initially I had two, and then I got to three. So it's a typo. But no more than 50 games. And while at 50 games exactly, if something goes into my collection, something must go out. And I wasn't as strict this year about this, and got over 50 games. But I'm trying. I'm trying my best. So I still need to get rid of some of the games. And exceptions are the review copies and pre-orders Kickstarter copies, which I have not physically received yet because they aren't there. I might have a pre-order or a Kickstarter for such and such game, but I don't have it physically. It might be there in a year, a lot of things might change. So I'm not counting games that are not physically in my collection, that are
Okay,
still
that part makes sense.
in the process of making, And the other exception is
You
review
don't
copies.
count games you don't have. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, kinda. Like when you buy them, because you buy stuff on Kickstarter. Nowadays, you don't. Oh, I play it. No, you buy stuff. Kickstarter is a shop nowadays. But the thing is that the other thing is review copies. Yeah, I mean review copies. I haven't bought them myself. Publishers have sent them to me. So I need to try them. I need to review them first, and then decide on what to do with them. But I cannot really put them in my 50 games collection because they are review copies. They're a different story as of now. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that. If it's a valid rule.
I mean, hey, it's your list. My rule is hoard, hoard, hoard. So,
Okay. True. Yeah. And the first extra stuff is that there will be an entry for a a category of games. We'll get to that very soon. But I think what I made here, I made a lot of tabs here. So, we're not gonna just scroll. I'm gonna go to each game separately. I don't know. Let's just start. I don't have any other comments here.
let's jump in if we're talking
Let's jump.
about 50-ish games.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will say we're not going to do this for my game collection because I don't have any policy. Although I have only 50 games if you don't count several of them.
Yes, true.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. Let's start with the first game, and they are basically in an alphabetic order. So not my top or lowest, in rating, but it's alphabetic order. And I think the last game is not because I added it to the gig list after I made the gig list. So that's the only.
Okay.
But the first one, Abyss, which by the way says re-implemented by conspiracy Abyss Universe.
That's a lie.
That's a lot of lies.
That's a big lie.
I don't understand how they put these things here because reimplementation means you rework the game into something else. So basically, this new stuff replaces the older stuff in a sense. I will talk about conspiracy later. Anyway,
Okay.
Abyss, amazing, beautiful game. I do have all the expansions, and I love all the expansions. Without the expansions, it wouldn't be as high. But this is just a great game of push a luck, set collection, pearls, and very light economy, etc. So yeah, there's not much to say. Just the card game, it's a card game basically, yeah, but gives you a format of a full board game, and the beauty of it, the simplicity yet engaging mechanisms, really strike great for me. It's a 10 out of 10 if I remember correctly.
All right.
So
If you
yeah.
remember correctly. Well, I mean, it's your
Yeah,
rating.
it is. That's
I
okay.
approve of this game.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this one stays.
Good, you can keep it.
Oh, thank you. All right, Anachrony. This is totally an opposite. I mean, it's still somewhat beautiful, but it's very busy, in a sense of graphics, and it's quite a lot of theme within this heavier Euro game, and it's a worker placement, and it looks much more busier than it is, in my opinion. Once you have played it once, you realize that it's more streamlined than you thought. And Anachrony is one of the heaviest games in my collection, and probably the only heavy Euro game that I would never get rid of, or at least until something comes up, which could be better than Anachrony. But so far, each time I play something heavy, I always come back to Anachrony. Like, I think about Anachrony because it gives me enough theme, uh, enough like free roam within the game, because here you place your workers, you have the central board, and it gives you the vibes of Manhattan Project, which I loved a long time ago. One of my favorite games from the past, worker placement game as well. And you have your own board where you can put a lot of your workers, and there's no, it's not like Everdell or something like that where I have 2 workers, and then let's end the round, and now I have 3 workers, let's end the round. Here the flow of this worker placement is so smooth, so different. I love that. And yeah, I don't think it's too complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too complicated, but it can be daunting to get into, I will say. I'm assuming you don't have the large infinity box with the
No,
37 extra expansion modules.
no,
And I think that's probably not something you would need. I have those, but I haven't really even played with all of them. So
so this is a Kickstarter base game, but the Kickstarter base game had some kind of a modules, extra things. So there's a lot
it
of
had
them,
a couple, yeah.
and I have not played any of these modules. I've only
I
played the
see.
base game so far because
Huh.
each time I get it out, it's so big, it's enough. I mean, there's enough gameplay in the base game. So I was looking at all the expansions, put them on my wish list, and be like, do I really need them? Because I will never play them. I'm like, each time I get this one out, I just play the base game, or a new person wants to learn the game. I will not put the modules in. There's I mean, like, it's a huge game. It's rather streamlined, but it's a huge game. Anyway, all right. So
Very
Anachrony,
well. All right. I also approve this message.
yeah. So Anachrony is 9 out of 10. Not 10,
Okay.
but almost there. All right. So Aquatica, and I do have the expansion as well. This was the one that I was hesitant to buy at first because it was like, um, it looks like some kind of a abyss type thing, but then I realized it's really not. But it kinda is in a sense. I mean, like there are some similarities, but and there's kind of a it's not really a role selection. It's hand management. You play cards out, so they allow you to do stuff like diplomacy versus warfare kind of a thing going on there, but very light thing. I think the most interesting part of this game is the sliding of the cards, because you slide them into your board, and then as you use them, you slide them again and again until they are all in the board, and then you use cards which have this treasure icon. Well, I don't remember how it's called. Basically, to cash them in so they can become points. So I like this kind of a progression. This is really cool. The goals are a bit boring, but I haven't tried the expansion yet.
Okay.
So I hope the expansion adds even more fun. But so far, it's a really good fun here. It's not too complicated. It's easy to get it out.
Yeah, it's a good game. I enjoy it. I don't like it quite as much as you do, but I did have a good time with it. And I also have, I don't know if I've played with the expansion yet.
Hmm.
I have to figure that out.
I don't even remember what expansion does. But anyway,
Well, I guess we should check.
yeah, it's 8 out of 10.
All right.
Now,
I approve this.
okay, Atlantis Rising, also 8 out of 10. So I played Atlantis Rising a long time ago. I think I played with you during the board game
You've never
camp
played
in
Atlantis
Sweden.
Riding with me.
Okay, but I
No,
played during the board game camp, but maybe not with you.
yeah,
Okay, I
not with me.
vaguely remember. Okay, maybe played something else. We played a lot of games and a lot of not so good games as well.
We have. That's my specialty.
But this one is so. I was looking at this one. I didn't back it on Kickstarter at the time. I was like, when it comes out, it comes out. I don't want to wait for that. And when it came out, it wasn't that easy to get. Eventually, there were enough copies in the shop, so I could buy it. I was like, but do I really need this one? Is it really that much better than the older version? Because the older version was like, it was okay, but the abilities, it's some kind of a balance issues and things. It was, it wasn't enough for me. But this one, I like the sinking of the island. I like how these are basically, this is a cooperative worker placement game, and if you're further from the center, then you get a better reward or a cheaper. It's a cheaper cost to get the resource or whatever, but um, it's a bigger chance that you will get nothing because your part of the island will be flooded.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm not sure about is that it doesn't have any kind of turns. We just discuss and then put the workers out in whatever order. There's no order of play. And then there's like, I mean, phases, different phases, but there's no order of play between players. Maybe I would have wanted it to be more structurized to make it, I don't know. I just like structures in games. But it still works. On the other hand, it saves time and this kind of a simultaneous, let's discuss and then put the workers out thing, which works. And everything else is just, I like these, they're called modules, whatever they are, the inventions that you build. I like those and how they become new worker spots or special abilities, etc. They're really cool, and the special abilities of each player are cool. The production is great. I know it's just I bought it because I needed another co-op in my collection, and the one that I don't have to teach for 1 hour before we can play it. I want to get more
Oh,
easier
that
games in my
one.
collection. Yeah. So how do you
Okay.
feel?
So I disagree with you a little bit in that the differences between this and version one are night and day. I did not like the first edition, and I do quite enjoy this one. So,
Oh, no, no, no. I didn't say that they are.
oh,
Maybe I mis.
okay.
Yeah, maybe I
Well,
misspoke. They are
yeah. I mean,
different. They are different.
the changes to this one elevated it quite a bit. I like this game. I did not like the first
Yeah,
edition.
yeah, yeah. What I meant, I was afraid that it wouldn't be enough difference for me. Why I didn't
Ah, I
want
see.
to
Oh, I
buy
see.
it or
Okay,
back it. Uh,
got it.
yeah, but I was wrong. It's
Well,
or I don't know. Not the
here's
one
hoping the
version sounds more fun.
expansion eventually comes out.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for
eventually.
more. I'm looking for more things because it looks like it needs more content. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now this one is interesting. So I got this one in Europe before Portal Games published their own version of that. Or I mean, they basically reprinted that. They didn't change anything because I remember they just reprinted it. There's no. It's no. This version is European version, but also English, and the Portal version is just it's a print run, but just for North America, I think. But anyway,
Okay.
Brazil, 8 out of 10. A very interesting game, and you can totally see the influences of Scythe in it. Because there's this kind of a action selection mechanism is very similar to Scythe. This kind of a passive aggressive conflict and things like your troops can never die, but they return to your board. You have to deploy them again, and all of that thing. And then you are building those different tiles on the different landscapes to produce goods, so you can upgrade your board and stuff. And when you play, you have your own board, and there's a symmetry. Each board is a bit different from the others. Each kind of a nation. It's within the Brazil. It looks great. The tech tree is there's no tech tree. It's kind of like civilization building game, but there's no tech tree. Instead of that, there are those paintings, as they call them, which are cards which give you which basically break the standard initial game rules. So, for example, in order for me to build, I need to have this, but they like say Now you can build without that thing, or you can do this one extra, whatever. These are like technologies, but thematically they are like paintings. I don't know how to describe them thematically. Anyway, it's a longer
It's
game.
because they don't work thematically.
Yeah. It's a longer game. You can make it more hostile. You can make it there are different map setups, like more conflict, less conflict, etc. And I really like it. But I would
I
love to see an expansion.
I had a different experience with this game. This was one of my biggest disappointments from 2022.
Mm,
So I was not a fan of this game at all.
okay. Okay, but
So
why?
I don't approve of this one.
Ah, I have to sell it now. Why didn't you like it as much?
It just was. I mean, this game had everything that I thought I would like going into it, but the gameplay really did not come together. It was very one-sided. The if it, I found that when you draw those cards at the beginning that sort of give you your goals, if you have a bad draw on those, and
Yeah,
I mean, I had a
yeah.
good draw, and other players did not. And so I was, everything worked together magically. If you have a bad draw on those, if they don't work together, you're sunk. You're screwed from turn one.
Hmm. Interesting. I didn't find that
But
here.
that's not all. I mean, I found there were not enough of the painting cards. I found that the actual
True.
combat
There's
was
no
really
content.
boring.
Yeah.
The symbols and icons on the little tiles were confusing early on. I found that the gameplay was not very much fun. It just felt like, okay, I'm going to do this,
Hmm.
and nothing had any real import. It was like, okay, I built 15 of these buildings, and now, and the combat, if you lose a combat, it's extremely, it can be extremely negative to you. And the combat
Hmm.
itself was not very exciting. And I just really did not like this game. I would give it a
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Okay. I mean, no, I was fine with combat. I mean, Scythe
No.
combat is same excitement level
Yeah,
for
but
me. You know,
you
like.
can only have 3 cards.
Mm, true.
So the
Okay.
cards themselves had very little. I mean, there were no surprise moments in it. There was no sort of excitement about it. It was whoever started the
Hmm.
combat lost, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So you can like this game, but I
Yeah.
really did not.
Yeah. You had a different experience with this one. Yeah.
I did. I had a different experience with Brazil Imperial.
Yeah, because everything you describe, I was ready to counter that because I didn't have all of those issues, except the needing more cards, more content, more of the same, more of those paintings. I would love to get more, just more stuff for this game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Okay.
I think I'm done with Brazil Imperial, but I'm glad you're still enjoying it.
Okay. So cartographers is another one, and I do have cartographer heroes and whatever all the map packs. I put them just in one entry because I mean
Sure, they're one game.
it's it's
Um,
one game, yeah. Um, I like I don't have many roll and writes, and I got tired of roll and writes at some point. I don't like many of them because I mean, like they're all okay, but they don't give me this kind of a great experience of having kind of a full game with this one. Now, cartographers is really cool. Yeah, there are people who can really draw. My drawings are not so great. But another thing that surprised me about this game is that when I bought this game, it was like, I'm not sure if I will like it still because it's Tetris like, it's polyominoes and all of this stuff, it's like pattern building. And I don't really like that in games. In this one, it doesn't bother me at all. And I like it in this game. I don't know why. It just works for me. And I like drawing. I like how the different scoring mechanisms they work together. A plus B, then B plus C, etc. And how you by building for the scoring that's gonna occur in this round, you have to think about the future scorings as well and kind of a build up for them as well. Yeah, it's just great and a lot of map packs and you can have all of the different experiences. And I haven't tried. I mean, like so far I've only played the base game because each time when I pull it out, I teach it to someone new, and like, okay, let's just try the base game first. But I would really want to start exploring. I do have a lot of these different mech packs and heroes as
Yeah.
well. I don't know how much heroes is different from. I just bought it because it's cartographers.
Heroes is not really any different. There are two main differences. One is that the rounds, the number of cards or points to end the round
Mm-hmm.
is slightly different. And
Oh, okay.
then there are the hero cards that go in, and they're sort of they don't count against the round length, and they can take out a monster. Basically, it's
Oh, so
usually a one or
basically
two
erase a
space.
monster. Oh.
Yeah, you put it next to it, and it has little. Each card has like a certain number of spaces it can affect, and so if you put it next to a monster, it can kill that monster. And the monsters are different too because some of them have effects. Like one will kind of spread at the end of every round if you haven't contained it.
Ooh.
Um,
Interesting.
but you can mix those in with the base ones. It's really just one game. You just sort of pick one set of the round cards, and the rest is as it is. And then adding in the maps is just different maps. Some of them have small different rules, but nothing that I would say would prevent you from teaching it as your first
Yeah, but yeah, Istanbul. I was like, I don't want to read into the maps.
time. Very
But this
well.
one really needs a bigger box, and I think it
I
had.
It has one.
Yeah, yeah, but
I have a
I
bigger box
I
for
bought
it.
them separately, so I didn't need
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, it needs a bigger box still because all the map packs don't fit in in the
In
bigger
a bigger
box.
box
But
still? Yeah, okay.
well, they keep coming out with more, and so
Hmm.
that's a good thing. But it makes it difficult to store.
So what I
I approve
did.
this one.
Okay, so but what I did it was storage. So I have a heroes box and the cartographer's box. So I I basically split the maps into 2 or 3 batches, kind of a thing. One map just I just store. You know, I so in my box of cartographers, I have various maps, but they are in a smaller quantity, not in their original
I see.
quantity. And I store the rest of those maps somewhere else. And
Got
if
it.
I get if I get emptied with these maps, I'm just gonna switch them. Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway,
There we
7.5
go.
out of 10. Chronicles of Crime, and including, so I'm not separating 1900 and whatever else. They are standalone in a sense, but come on, they're one game. A little bit different, there are different modules and rules in a sense, like small rules, because in 19 or in 1400 you don't have forensics team. You have a dog, but and visions, but basically it's just to replace the nowadays technology or whatever. But Chronicles of
Mhm.
Crime, 10 out of 10. It's it's an amazing deduction logic game. uh, it's all about the scanning with your phone, and you get all of the information you get from the phone, which means that a lot of these characters and things are replayable. So it doesn't need, like, the cost to produce this game is so much lower because of this app. Otherwise, they would have to print a lot of stuff to make it replayable. And I know the same scenario is not replayable, but there are enough scenarios in the base game. You can buy extra scenarios in the app, and then you can buy all of these 1900 and all of these Millennium series, and I mean, there's a lot of content. There's enough for you to stay in the game, let's say. And I just like it. It's hard for me to convince myself nowadays to get into this game, because, like, I know my brain will start melting, because it's a brain burning game. But once I'm in it, I'm fully in it,
Sure.
and I love it.
Yeah, I enjoy this game and its iterations. I mean, I agree they're largely the same game system, but yeah, I like this one. I don't love it quite as much as you do, but I do enjoy it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just all of the experience I had with this game were amazing each
Good.
time I play it. All right. The next one is Clank Legacy. Now, yeah, you would think like, why should I keep Clank Legacy? But because when you finish with Clank Legacy, you can play it as a base game. And because I don't play games for like hundreds and hundreds of times, I mean, I don't need a Clank because Clank base game is not as interesting, so I have to buy expansions. But Clank Legacy is more interesting than Clank the base game. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this as my Clank base game, kinda. But
Okay.
legacy elements were very much fun. I liked it,
Yeah, I
um,
had a great time with this one.
and there's
Um,
enough
uh,
content for after games.
yeah,
So
I will say I haven't gone back to my legacy. That for me, although I know I could, that for me was largely a single experience and a great one. Whereas, so
hmm
I think I would prefer regular Clank, just because of it has all those expansions, so it's easy
yeah,
to manipulate those and add something slightly different if you want. And then Clank Catacombs is also another iteration on the same theme that's also very good. So
I'm hesitant to try. I mean, I really want to try Clank Catacombs. I hope to try it during the cruise, and this Clank Catacombs might you know replace this version of Clank for me. Uh, Maybe I don't know
I mean,
because I like exploring.
yeah, I'll say Catacombs is probably more compatible with things from the base game, like at least the cards. But I don't know. Catacombs is also very good, and it's a nice new spin. The only disadvantage of Catacombs is you don't know how big the board is going to be,
Mm.
so it's difficult to plan.
Difficult to plan the table. But yeah,
Hmm.
this one, by the way, Legacy has you can implement some of these. I mean, the heroes. You can buy heroes even after you finish the Legacy version. You can buy hero
That's
packs,
true. Hmm.
which probably I will eventually to kind of customize it just a little bit more.
I mean, I have them, and they're just. I mean, it's a model that you can use instead of your little wooden guy, and then it's a set of cards, and everybody has a slightly different starting deck. It's good. I like those,
Yeah, why not? That
and I would
makes
use
sense.
those with regular Clink as well.
Hmm. Yeah, they are both compatible.
Sure.
Okay, let's get to the next one, which is Cloud Age, and Alexander Pfister game in my collection and in my 50 game policy. That's a weird thing, you know. Uh, but yeah, I just really enjoy Cloud Age.
So
It's
do I.
um I haven't played it much, but each time I play it, it's so simple, and maybe because it's so simple that I like it. Upgrading your airship, playing out those cards, what they are called, the inventions, technologies, whatever. They're like technologies, basically. Making stuff cheaper and making yourself stronger so you can go and kind of defeat bigger cities or something like that. But basically, there's no conflict whatsoever. It's like just compare numbers. Oh, your number is greater. Yes. There isn't much of that theme going on there, but I really like the cloud cards. They're a lot of fun. Each time we do that, I'm like, we're like, oh, this is the most fun part of the game, and the story element is forget about that. Um, I would love to see an expansion. I'm sure there won't be any expansions because this game isn't as popular as Fister's other games. Because people who love Fister, they probably wanted to have a more involved game. So probably they didn't like Cloud Age as much. And I, on the other hand, would rather play Cloud Age than any other of his games.
Very well. I like Cloud Age. It is not my favorite Alexander Pfister game. That goes to Great Western Trail, but I enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised initially that you did, but I'm pleased that you did. I do think the campaign is a sort of a meaningless addition. You can kind of dispense with that and just add all the stuff in, unless you really enjoy that, and then go ahead. But
Yeah. No, no, no. I mean,
but
like,
no, this is a good one. Mhm. I will say this one can really drag at 4.
I played it with 2 and 3 players,
Yeah, and
and I
I
feel like
won't
three
play it
players
with
is
four
fine.
again. Yeah,
Mm.
2 and 3, well, and solo are all good numbers, but as a four-player game, it really all that fourth player adds is time.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I usually play games 3 people tops. If they don't like, if usually all of my games in my collection aren't the ones that need a huge number of people to play with.
Sure.
So yeah, three is the
Okay.
best. I think best player count usually for
Hmm.
games. It's the
It
most
depends on the
balanced.
game,
Depends
especially
on the
for
game, of course.
two-player
Yeah,
games. Um,
yeah, or solo games. Oh,
those
there's 2 of you.
usually
Go away. I
exactly.
want to play my solo. Okay.
Hmm.
Let's get to and now conspiracy Abyss Universe, which re-implements Abyss. Yeah. Yet again, lies, lies, lies. So this is a small version. I mean, it has the vibes of Abyss, but it's not Abyss. You're building this pyramid of cards, basically trying to get the points. You need to get the highest cards of each color, and you get the locations with the keys, and they give you extra points. It's very light, but this is something I can bring to every game night and play. It takes a lot of space for such a small card game, but it's not hard to learn. It's something I occasionally can pull out and play. Just such an easy game. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this one, but I agree it's a small card game. I don't know that it's of all in the world of small card games the one I would pick, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's got the sort of abyss connection, the
Yeah,
loose and
that's probably I
tenuous
like
abyss
it more.
connection.
Yeah, it's probably because of the abyss. I might have this kind of a personal
Fair
connection
enough.
to this game. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next one, which is Cyclades, Cyclades, whatever.
Hmm.
It's still up there on my list. I haven't played it in a while, but each time I play it, I'm remembering how great this game is. And why are there wooden ships there? Okay, now it's better. Um, so in this game, um, I don't know. It's an area control game and conflict game, which I don't usually like. But there's so much more within this game. The bidding I really like. The resource management, basically the money management is great. The monsters, and I like how the monsters are in there with you for the rest of the game. You kind of borrow them, and then they go away. But the expansion, which is the Hades expansion adds enough modules and those priestesses and all that, with whom you can kind of keep the monster for the next turn. And if you play it well, you can keep the monster for several turns, etc. So, and there are those heroes as well, and the extra gods, the supporting gods. So if you bid on a lower god, which goes further in a turn, later in the turn, but you get something extra for that, blah blah blah, and how depending on what god you bid on, that's what you do during your round, and sometimes you do less, sometimes do more. But let's say if I bid on Athena, everybody's like, "Oh, it's boring," but trust me, eventually, if you're not paying attention, I will have my Metropolis out with this Athena. It's people forget that not every turn needs to be flashy like Poseidon or Ares. Like, oh, I'm getting more troops, but while you are getting more troops, I'm getting Metropolises and win the game.
Hmm.
Uh, and if you and I then can probably stop you because you bid a lot on Ares. You lost a lot of money. I have more money. I will eventually stop you in the end, so you will not be able to counter me, to attack me, and whatever. I will destroy your fleet with Poseidon. There's a lot going on. People just they seem to they seem to forget how much layers there are in this game, and they're like, "Oh, this is not enough. Let's just play Cycle These Titans." Titans is a different game. Titans is a conflict-heavy reimplementation of Cyclades. It's an expansion, but I would say it's a reimplementation. It doesn't work the same way the Cycle of These base game with the expansion Hades works. And I argue that base game plus Hades is better than Titans. Bam.
Very well. I mean, it really depends on whether you liked the sort of slower, more methodical combat of the base game, or if you prefer the more aggressive Kemet-like flow of the of the Titans
I'll
expansion.
just play Kemet.
And up to you. I enjoy this game. Sadly, mine got washed away in the flood, but I've heard rumors of potentially a new edition, so I'm holding out for that.
Did your Atlantis Rising also
No,
wash away?
it was on a different shelf. Um,
That would have been tragically romantic.
yeah, I would prefer not to have that tragic romance in my life.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just anyway. Do you approve of Cycle of These?
I approve.
Thank you, my friend. Dice stars. It's not, and I give it 9 out of 10. I gave it less of a rating, but then I realized each time I play it, I really enjoy it. I love it. Like, why should I keep a low score on this one? If each time I play it, I love it. And yeah, I know you don't love it as much, but for me,
it's okay.
The simplicity of a roll and write. I just can pull this one out, use the box as the dice tray, whatever. I don't know. It just works for me. Very simple. My go-to roll and write.
Oh, there you go. No, nothing more needed to say than that. It's fine. I think there are better roll and write games, but that's okay. You enjoy this one. Yeah, I think it's funny how much you enjoy this game.
Yeah.
But
I mean, technically, there might be better, mechanically better roll and writes, but many of them didn't click with me. I didn't like them as I don't know. I just keep coming back to this one, and then I realized, okay, why not? If I keep coming back to this one, I'm free to like whatever I want.
You can. This one hardly even counts as a game because it's so small, so you can have an extra game and just store this one in its box.
I'll find you. Okay. Don't you dare about my dice stars.
It's just a small game.
Okay, let's go to the bigger game. Yeah, 11. So I still haven't got to playing the full version of that because I played few rounds solo just to learn the game because it's so big and takes a lot of table space. It's really hard to get this one out, but eventually I will. 11 is football management game. If you like football, if you like the Football Manager on as a video game, so basically it's a Football Manager video game, kind of a re-implementation into board game. If you like all of that, you will find a lot of similarities. But you have to be in these. You have to like this simulation of football or this kind of a management thing. You have to like football or soccer. So yeah, I don't know how to describe it else.
Well, and I can't help you because mine still has not arrived, but I think it will soon, and I'll try it at that point.
Mm-hmm. It's a heavier Euro game still. It's not like it's American.
That doesn't scare me. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Okay, yeah, it's very strategic. And all of the expansions, basically the base game is enough. I mean, but still the expansions add a lot of cool stuff like stadium upgrades, international players, etc. I mean, like there's a lot extra. And I've only tried the base game and I haven't opened the decks for the expansions, not to because the box does not fit all of the content.
No.
Yeah. And they said they wouldn't do a bigger box. And I'm like, wow.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, they should have. They should. This is the biggest thing, the biggest misstep they did. I don't care about the cost. Bigger box is so much more viable. Then, okay. But because now I'm like, I need to store some of the decks and things in a separate expansion box, which is like a talk box quality,
Mm-hmm.
and my base box is just full. I'm like
I see.
I the lid doesn't close well,
Mm-hmm.
and still there's a lot of content that I need to still manage to put in there. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. Keep some of the stuff separate.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Ah, Portal games.
Okay. Well, I will wait and I will reserve judgment on this until I've actually played it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me if you will fit everything in the box.
Oh, I'm sure I won't. But
Oh, you'll have to.
I've long since abandoned. I mean, yeah. Well, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah. Anyway, Empires: Age of Discovery.
Ah,
So
I'm
yeah,
shocked.
I love this game still. I understand the controversy of the theme,
Mhm.
but I'm sorry, I love the game, and I
You
love it
do.
because this has a great implementation of area control. There's not much conflict except the soldiers, but usually when we play this game, nobody really uses soldiers that much. They're expensive,
Fair enough. No, and they're
and
not the most exciting part.
not yeah, it's not exciting. So, but I love this worker placement because first you place all the workers, and they can be different workers like merchant and
Hmm.
missionary and settler and captain, and they can do different things. And you sometimes like I have this worker that will work better in that worker box. But right now, I need to get here and do this stuff instead. It's like and planning. And for example, you put the worker down in this middle box, whatever, like the builder stuff, but you don't have enough money. But you know that before that, you will send the merchant into the new world, so they will give you that extra $5 that you are short on, so you can eventually build. So there's no such thing as that. You cannot put the worker there if you don't have enough of such a thing. You can put the worker there anywhere, and maybe during the resolution, you can still get to it. And the economy with the resources at first they are money, then there are points at the end of the game, etc. I don't know, this variability of like various variable, let's say variable worker effects or something like that. Variable workers is great thing about this game. I just love it.
Yeah, I enjoy this one. It's been a while. It's one of those ones every time you talk about it, I start to think, maybe I need to get this one out again. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I will.
You should play it with me.
it,
Okay.
it holds up well despite its being a relatively older game.
Oh, it is. It's from I think it's 2005, the initial version. Then the Empires came. This deluxe version came 2015 or 16, like 10, almost 10 years later.
Yeah,
So it's a
but
very old game.
still, it's an older game, but a good one. I approve.
It holds. Okay, thank you. All right, Evergreen, the newer something new from Essen this year, and Evergreen. I was shocked how much I like this game. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
into abstract games, but this one just works because you're building those trees and and bushes and rivers, etc. And there's the smaller trees, the bigger trees, and the sun shines from that side, from that side. Trees block each other, and some of them are in the shadow, so you don't score points. On them are in the sunlight, they score points. And this is kind of the spatial puzzle, which I'm not a big fan of, but it works. And I like how you upgrade some of the actions, so they become better for you. This is great, and the drafting is great. I really
Yeah.
like the idea of the last card that nobody takes becomes a part of the scoring.
Sure.
I like that. And it's so easy to get into. It's such an easy game. Just
Yeah, I like this one. I mean,
very good.
I wasn't blown away by it, but I enjoy it.
Mm.
I do wish. I mean, I wish if I were to, I guess nobody cares about my wishes, but I wished that you always start from the top of the board. That's always the scoring round. I wish. I don't know if it would work, but I wish you could sometimes start from the left side or something, so that the sort of cadence of the game would be thrown off a little bit. And I do wish that the boards were different. The fact that they were all the same was kind of a disappointment. But I like the game just fine, and it's a very easy game. Once you kind of understand what the actions are, that can be a little bit hard to grasp initially. It's all symbols, but they're not too
Oh
hard.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but it wasn't hard. Yeah, you can get past
Anyway.
that. All right. Let's get to the next one. So this is unlocked, but now this is the entry where I said there will be, there are, it can be several entries. So unlock is a placeholder because unlock is my favorite, or one of my favorite escape room systems. But also all of the escape room games, exit the game, and even time stories, etc. Everything which is one and done thing. You know, you play the scenario, it's done. You solved it. All of these I put under the same entry. Because, you know, I play it and I get rid of that right away. Because I cannot keep it. It's not replayable. So I put all of the unreplayable games in this entry. But unlock is my favorite. And I'm tired of exits. And the other systems, I tried some. I don't know. I just stick to unlock right now.
Okay.
Maybe play
whatever you need to get to your arbitrary number.
I would argue this is a valid choice. I mean, like, even Tom Vassell puts escape room games, including all of these different systems, into one entry in his top 100, I think, something like that. It doesn't.
Very well.
Like
I said, whatever you need to get to your number.
You cannot say that exit the game is so much different from. I'm like, system is different, but the whole premise. Because then, if I buy exit and becomes an extra position in my collection,
you have it, and then you play it and throw it away.
And then
it won't count against your end of year numbers.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, all the escape room games, but unlock is my probably the favorite.
I see.
More consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of indicated that I'm largely done with these. I might play one again sometime with the right person who really loves them, but I kind of have. I've had that experience, and I don't know that I need to have it again anytime soon. But we'll see.
You're wrong. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
As this is my list, I say you're wrong.
Very well.
Okay, first class. With all of these expansions or modules, whatever they are, the G and H.
Yeah, that's two small decks of cards.
The Z, yeah, the XYZ. I don't know, but they haven't done anything new for this game.
No, it's just been those two little modules.
Oh, there's promos like T module T expansion, something like that about the T. I don't.
Okay.
It's here. The module G, call for tenders, and tea time. Yeah, I have all of these.
Okay.
And all F and goodie box. I don't have that one. I know what it is. I don't care about that one anyway. So first class, great kind of engine building and chain reaction game. Once you build up an engine and it just starts going and going, like that's where you feel like, oh, I've done a lot of great things here. And you can mix match all the modules, and it's all about a lot of points at the end of the game. High point scoring game. So yeah, I just love it. And I like this route that you have, this kind of a train route here to go on, kind of a side quest, and then you have this main thing just building up those train cars. And yeah, it just works. Not all of the modules are great, but you can find your favorite combinations and just play them.
Exactly. The only complaint I have, look, I like this game a lot. I have two small complaints with it. One is that it takes up a surprisingly large amount of table space.
You can see this is one player's.
and two, you need to have pretty good lighting for this game. I've played it in poor lighting, and it has definitely affected some people's experience.
I think it's with
the cards are tiny, and if you're not careful, they can be difficult to see for some people. Those are small complaints, but and Daniel's asking how we would compare it with Russian railroads. They are comparable because they have train themes and I think the same designer, but they're not really the same at
Yeah,
all.
they are different.
This one is much faster and it's more of a drafting style game, whereas Russian Railroads is largely a worker placement game. I like both of them, but I would say this one is definitely the easier to get into of the two.
Yeah. First class is action drafting. Russian railroads
Hmm.
is worker placement and the build up. So you're building rails in Russian railroads, and here you're
Sort of.
building your rail cars and kind of
Yeah.
have this chain of scoring there. It's a different thing. It's
Yeah.
both are great, but
Hmm.
I eventually I got rid of Russian railroads because I like there were two games and they gave me the same kind of vibe, both high scoring things, and I was like, with my strict policy, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with first class because it's just easier to get into. It's
Oh,
more
and
approachable.
my third complaint is it has a 50-point scoreboard.
Oh yeah, true that.
That's
It's
stupid.
weird.
I mean, this is a
Yeah,
300-point game. I don't know why they would want a 50-point scoreboard. It's just.
maybe they couldn't fit the bigger board or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, production
Um,
issues.
anyway, that's the small complaints. I got rid of my Russian railroads as well, but that's because I got Ultimate Railroads, which
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that in it. So that doesn't
Okay,
really count.
you approve it, yeah?
I do.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Forgotten Waters. Uh, this one I'm not sure for how long I will keep this one if they will not, put out any new expansions, etc. I still haven't played all of these scenarios, but even
Well,
with
there
this
was
kind of
that DLC expansion. Did you
I do
play?
have
Did you
this.
get that
I
one?
bought it.
Oh,
I
okay.
bought it right away. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think I already played it maybe. But yeah, no,
Oh,
Forgotten Waters
okay.
is amazing. It's kind of a crossroads game. Pirate themes, simultaneous action selection. We were all working together, but there are some of the mechanisms that have a little bit of that take that between pirates, which is very tongue in cheek and not really a big
R.
issue. Or yeah, um, and the story with the app, etc. I just that's an amazing experience. I really love it, and would like to see more of that, more of the content.
Sure.
I mean, there's
Uh,
enough game still with the
there
DLC
is.
especially.
And I don't know what the plans are for more of this game, but I really enjoyed it. This was, I think, the first game that I got. I was really excited right at the start when things shut down in 2020, and I was so excited that they came up with a great solo version. But
Yeah.
it's a fun game. It's a great experience. It's a longer experience, so you have to be careful of that. But I really enjoy
Oh,
it.
it's long. Yeah, we play it usually in two parts because it's like
Okay.
one huge scenario is about 6 hours or something like that,
Oh
and
my goodness. I found it was closer to three, but but maybe we're just a little bit faster.
I don't know how you can be that fast, or maybe you did the better choices, and maybe we were at some point with one scenario we were stuck in a battle, like in
Oh,
like three battles in a row.
hmm.
It was just coincidence, but we're like, it's a battle
I
again,
see.
and then when you battle, it's the whole separate thing. It's like it's still rounds
Sure.
and rounds and rounds. It takes a lot of time, and we were like constantly trying to heal ourselves and then load the
Oh,
cannons and blah. It's a lot of things going on.
I see.
So maybe, but yeah, for me
Okay.
it was no near the 3 hours. I mean, like maybe five,
Uh,
but six, yeah, and we still
Woof.
played quite fast for. I mean, like we. I don't know if you listen to the stories or just read them.
I listen to them.
Okay,
If
because
there's
this is a lot of.
narration, I will almost always choose the narration.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, this is what we do
And it was
usually.
good. No, it's good voice acting in this one. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. And there's Pantsless Patty.
Yeah. What? Okay, let's get to the next one. The founders of Teotihuacan. This is a review copy. It doesn't count right now.
Oh, so why are you
And I,
talking about it?
but I'm in still my collection. I
Oh,
don't know much
okay.
about it. Tiling kind of a thing. I need to try it. Yeah, I don't know if you've played it.
I I have not. I like regular Teotihuacan, and
Sorry.
I wasn't super interested in this one.
Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. It
Hmm.
doesn't seem to have to get a lot of love, but
No.
maybe I like it.
Maybe you will.
Furnace, which I do like and would love to get an expansion. Please give me the expansion
No.
faster, or I will find
Yeah,
you. And
they have very poor distribution.
yeah. Anyway,
So,
Furnace is great because it has this kind of. I like the bidding. How the highest number gets the card, the lower numbers get the compensation,
hmm
and depending on how low or how high your lower number is, then it multiplies the thing, and then eventually you get cards into your collection, and then you activate them in this
sure.
whatever other phase. And
hmm
you need, and I like so there's the base variant says that you can activate the cards in any order, but I like to play the B variant or whatever, where once you buy the card, you have to stick it into your production and put it
hmm
in between the cards, right or left. But then you cannot change the position of that, and you always have to activate the cards from left to right. In that
Okay.
case, getting the cards and where you put them is much more fun. And
Hmm.
what it also helps with is this AP problem, because you have to activate the cards from left to right. And let's say while I took the card and trying to figure out where I stick them, people still resolve the other one. So it speeds up the game,
Hmm.
because if you don't have such rule during production, then people are like, oh, I'm gonna activate this card and then probably this one next, and then maybe no, I'm gonna, and then like for 10 minutes they're trying to figure out in what order they have to activate the cards. So it slows down the game a lot. Yeah, I prefer this variant thing.
Okay. I enjoy Furnace. I've just played without that, mostly because I've been playing with newer people. This is one of those games that's pretty easy to pick up and play, and so I've taught it fairly successfully to lots of people. I'm
Well,
excited for the expansion too, if it ever comes out. Um,
I also play with new people, and I always teach with this variant because
hmm.
it's just there's no, it's easier for them as well. It's
The
easier
people
for
that
newbies.
I play with would have found that stressful. So it really would just
Mm.
relocate the analysis instead of having it during the production phase. It's at the beginning when everybody's sort of pulling their cards down. But
I
hey,
see.
you I
You do
enjoy the
you.
game regardless.
Yeah. You approve.
I do.
Okay, great. The Grim Masquerade, which I love.
No.
No, how could you? No, I just it works every time I pull it out. It's just so easy to get into. It's kind of a social deduction, trying to figure out who everybody is based on the boon and bane, and it's so easy to play. Just draw
Sure.
two cards, one by one. Keep for yourself. Give another to another player. That's it. A few of the actions you can use some of the actions if you discard two same cards or the same cards, but I mean it's so easy. I would have loved to get some new modules or more characters or something like that, and expansions of all that. I'm not sure it will ever come out. The expansion
I don't think so. I don't know that this was, other than with you, I don't think this one was as popular.
as successful, yeah. But yeah, I still love it.
I know you do.
The Great
I enjoy it.
Masquerade.
I've had a good time with it.
Do you approve?
I do.
Okay, fine. Uh, now this one is look. Now
I don't
this one
approve.
no, but this one is a bit so this is co-owned
Oh, so it doesn't
by
count.
four players. I mean it's 0.25 then
So
places
it doesn't
in my
count as
collection.
one of yours, and that's good because then you don't have to count it.
Yeah. I only I own 1/4 part of this game, and the expansions I love it. It's the copy itself is not at my home
Oh,
as
well,
well.
then it
So,
definitely doesn't count.
mm. But yeah, I kind of put it in my collection, kind of, because I
Oh,
still
I see.
own it. But yeah, it's about Harry Potter, and we were just a bunch of friends liking Harry Potter, and then kind of clicked with us,
Sure.
clicked for us. Uh, yeah, this it's your usual deck builder. Nothing else to say. We played through the
Yeah,
campaign. We're
it's
playing the monsters box right now, and then we have this
okay.
potions, whatever expansion as well.
Yeah, I mean, I found it to be a fairly prosaic deck building game, but you definitely enjoy it a lot more.
If you love Harry Potter, then then you might like it more.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Homesteaders.
Well, here's another one of yours.
Yes, with the expansion, and I love this game
You
for the
do.
reason. Like, do you know how I got this game? Uh,
Yes.
is no. The thing is, when I first looked at this game, I didn't really wanna, you know, this game doesn't look great. And so basically we were going to Essen, and Essen has these they have these auctions. They have trades and auctions basically. And on the auctions, people just put there's a gift list, and people just put out the games they want to sell, and then you just buy the game from them, and then you meet up in Essen
Mhm.
and exchange or buy whatever you do. Um, so at that time, I was really enamored with the publisher called TMG, um, which is not there anymore. The publisher's gone, but at that time, all of their games that they put out was like Scaville, and all the other ones. Uh, I don't know if Pioneer Days was before or after that. I don't know. I mean,
It was
like the
much after
Homesteaders was
Homesteaders.
no Homesteaders is an older game, but I mean, like if I
Hmm.
played,
Oh, okay.
I remember what games I played before Homesteaders of TMG, but I was like, okay, TMG does some really cool stuff and great production, etc.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I think Kings of Air and Steam was also one of my favorites, and so we're like, we need to try this one, and we need to, and it was hard to get, especially the
Hmm.
TMG version, and we're like, okay, so let's just buy it because it's TMG, just for fun, just to try it.
Okay. Just for fun.
Yeah, and how surprised I was when I tried it, how great this game was. The only thing it was that it's not highly replayable. It needs an expansion. So eventually, the expansion came out within the Kickstarter. It was like a 10-year anniversary edition,
Uh-huh.
and I got this new edition. And so I have this new Kickstarter edition of this game. The looks of the game aren't the best. It hasn't improved as well.
No.
But the engine building, I just really like. The bidding is totally fine. Doesn't bother me. I like the bidding. I like how you bid for the possibility to build a certain house, and how they become worker spots, they become passive abilities, they become trades, points, set collection, etc. There's a lot of things, and how I like how in the market you exchange. Basically, you can use the market at any time. You can exchange the resources if you have these exchange or trade tokens, the T's, this the blue ones. If you have enough of
Hmm.
them, and if you get an engine going with them, you can exchange a lot of things. It's all about the trading exchanging, and the expansion adds the events, which add and add they also add the new buildings, etc. Anyway, I love it.
You do. And I enjoy it. I don't love it anywhere near as much as you do. In fact, I don't think anyone does. But
Not
this is
true.
loves it as much as you. I'm not sure, um, but I'm glad
Eh,
that
I'm
this
not the only
game
one
has
who loved
found.
it. 10. Look, there's
Sure, you're
85
not,
people who love it as much as I do.
or who loved it at one point when it came out in 1997 or whenever, whenever it was. But I'm
No,
glad. Look, it's not a bad game.
it's 2005, I think. Oh, 2009.
Okay,
Sorry, 2009.
okay.
It's not that old of a game.
I
Alex
mean,
Rockwell did a game called Only Hamsters. Okay. Oh, Rockwell is the game. I was like, okay,
the
it's a
Rockwell.
game called.
There is a game called Rockwell, but I think that's by
Yeah, yeah.
somebody
I was
else.
like, okay. So it's his only game, but I think it's really good. Yeah.
Okay,
You approve?
sure. I give you a casual approval
Okay. Oh, Honey
because I know
Buzz.
you love this game. Okay.
So the Honey Buzz. Look, I didn't put any rating on this one, so it's, let's say right now it's, what happened here? Where's
I don't know.
Discord? So it's let's say it's 7.5.
Okay.
Anyway, Honey Buzz, yeah. Um, or maybe 8. I don't know. I really enjoy Honey Buzz. I just recently got it. I played it. This game is all about this kind of a pattern building and puzzle.
Hmm.
Oh, this one has the deluxe components. Okay, uh, but in this
Of
game,
course.
you're trying to get the honey tiles, whatever the nectar tiles, and then basically produce honey on them, and then sell it on the market, or give it up for these contracts. It's a little bit of economy going on. Very straightforward worker placement. Basically, just put a bee there, or if there's another bee, then put more. It's like Manhattan Project Energy Empire uh, mechanism
Okay.
of worker placement, that
Oh
if
yeah.
somebody is
Hmm.
in
Got
there,
it.
you
Hmm.
have to place one more worker than the previous player in order to benefit from that place. And yeah, it's easy to get into. I just like this game. It just works for me.
How many of those little rubber honey pieces have you put in your mouth?
None.
Oh, okay. Surprising.
And you?
More than none.
Okay. At least one. At least once in a while, yeah? Okay. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're
Well,
really
they
good.
look so tasty.
Oh, the production is great, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, do you approve of Honey Buzz?
I do.
I'm looking forward to the expansion.
Oh,
It's still in production. It's a Kickstarter thing,
yeah.
but it seems to be that it has a lot of these extra modules, which will
Oh,
definitely
good.
boost the game. Yeah.
And there's also what's that Stonemeyer Rolling Realms? There's also a Honey Buzz module you can add in if you
Okay. I don't know about that.
like.
Let's
Anyway,
get to the next one.
let's go.
Horrified, and I played American Monsters with you, but I
You
I
did.
only own the base game. Not the base game.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
the initial game. Uh, Horrified. It's
They're
another one
largely the
which,
same.
yeah, just different monsters. I would love
Hmm.
to have more variability uh, within two copies. And this one, you just collect items, go around. You have your special ability or whatnot, and then you have these monsters which have those kind of a mini puzzles within them that you need to solve, and then you defeat the monsters, and then you win, and then you cheer. It's so easy. This game is so straightforward, and yet it works. If like we're like, what should we play? I don't want to I don't want to learn anything big and something cooperative, something easygoing. Then I pull out Horrified. What do
Yeah,
you think?
fine. I'm just responding to the comment there. Yeah, I like Horrified. It's a very simple cooperative game, but simple's not bad. I enjoy it. I like the theme. I like both versions. Although I mean, I have more of a connection to the monsters in the first edition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's hope they can come up with maybe an extra standalone box or something like that. I don't know. Marvel horrified, yeah. You have to run around collect
Yeah.
items in order to. I mean, like, no, no, no. I will
No.
not buy Marvel.
We'll see. I mean, this game. So one of my favorite movies growing up was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and that is really what this game is. What Base
Mm-hmm.
Horrified is. In fact, the characters Wilbur and Chick are the Abbott and Costello characters from that old movie.
Okay. All right.
So
You approve.
I do.
Let's get to the next one. The Hunger. Now, this one is on the verge of being my collection versus leaving my collection because I need to see what expansion does.
I do too.
So
I haven't gotten the expansion yet.
it's not out yet, I think.
Ugh.
So the thing is that graphically it has some issues, but you can get past that. It's easy if you play it once or twice. I like the
Mhm.
idea of deck building and this hand management where you basically hunt the people, but the people slow you down. Then
Mhm.
you, like in Clank, you need to get further to get better stuff, but then you need to go back before the sun rises, so you won't get eliminated from the game. Um,
Right.
and all of these crypt tokens, whatever they are, they give you special abilities, etc. It's a straightforward game. Deck building, yes. Moving around the board, yes. A little bit of a Clank going on, but I think there isn't enough for me in a long run.
Okay.
I really need to see what the expansion does and how it adds to the game. It's a cool game. I like it. I enjoyed it, but I don't
You
feel
just
like I
want
want to
more.
play it all the time. Yeah, I
Ah.
want something extra.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the expansion. I know that it was supposed to come out, but I don't know. I don't know what its status is. So hopefully.
No, it has not yet. I think it will come out maybe spring, something
Oh,
like that. I don't know.
okay.
Maybe sooner, but it's running
I hope
into.
so. Spring's pretty far.
What was the high
We'll see.
stakes?
Um,
Yes,
yeah, I think that's the expansion. That's what the box looks like.
but you can see 35 ratings. I'm not sure if it's out.
Well, I don't think it is. I've been looking at it, and I haven't seen it as available to order. So
Oh, is it the Kickstarter thing? Okay, I don't know.
they didn't. This isn't from Kickstarter, is it?
Oh, I bought a
Yeah.
copy on retail Tuesday. What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a
Well,
distribution issue.
maybe we. Yeah, they might have a distribution problem. Anyway,
Yeah. Let's get to the next one. Imperium
let's go.
Classics, of course, Imperium Legends as well.
Sure.
In the same entry, the same game. Um,
Mine are in the same box. Um,
look, when I look at this game, like, should I pull it out and play? Each time I'm like, it's so tiring, kinda. But when I play it, I'm into it. It's the same with the Chronicles of Crime. When I start playing this one, it's a lot of fun, but kind of deciding on, do I want to play it? It's really good. I like it very much. It's just
with
so
one or two players.
hard. Yeah, yes. I only decided that I'll play with two players, no more.
Hmm.
And it's all of these different nations, and then having those different. A lot of this is symmetry going on. The deck building is very tight. I played Atlantis, where I just basically unbuilt my deck. Basically, it was deck destruction more than deck building because I was like,
Sure.
I have only 6 cards, and then I have the ability to pull 6 cards. So I basically each round I pulled my 6 cards, discarded them, pulled them again, and this was my engine, and it works perfectly. And I
Hmm.
had the right cards in my hand, so I like this engine building going on there. Yeah,
Sure.
it's an amazing game. It's just
It is.
so hard to get into.
It is, and some of the terminology doesn't help, and the rule book doesn't
Oh
help.
my
But
god,
I,
so
uh,
so
I, I
hard.
really enjoy this. This is one of my favorite games of last year, and by last year I mean 2021. And I'm very
For
excited
me
for
as
the
well,
new
yeah.
stuff that's supposed to come out next year.
New Horizons or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
There's like 12 more factions, so something like that. A lot of like how many factions you can get.
Apparently, at least 12 more.
Will it break the game or not? Probably will. In some
We'll
instances.
see.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
You approve.
I do.
Okay,
Wholeheartedly.
so Insider, do you approve?
Insider, I hardly even know her. Sorry. Um, I approve of Insider. Insider's a good game.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a word game, a party game. It just works when I need to play it with the bigger crowd, and it has this kind of a werewolf thing going on. I hate werewolf with my whole heart. Just hate it, hate it, hate it. I would burn every werewolf copy if I would see it.
That seems unnecessary.
I'm kidding about burning, but I really hate werewolf. Now
Okay.
this one just works because it's cooperative and it's fast. You know,
I mean, it's mostly
play it-
cooperative.
you play it in like 6 to 10 minutes. Boom! Like there is
That's right.
Insider, but basically Insider is trying to help you, but not to be seen by any other player. Yeah,
Right.
easy. Anyway, Insider, great party game. I'm trying to speed
It
up
is.
these things.
I got it.
You approve. Okay, just
do.
one. Another word game, which I also really like. Also cooperative, and you are trying to, give hints, but you don't know what other player writes on that hint thing, and you're trying to not not use the
Not
same
match?
words. Not
Right.
match. Yeah, yeah. Very easy, extremely easy. It's like Codenames kind of a level of easy, and works.
Even easier, perhaps. And
Yeah.
works with so many people. Code names, there's some people who don't like code names, but I haven't yet come across someone who doesn't enjoy just one.
Because just one is faster. I think
It's just so fast and light and has lots of good moments.
there's no setup basically as well. Just give
Of
out these
course.
things and planchette. To give out the planchette, give out the markers. One thing also. Let's say you buy a copy of this, just one, in English.
Yes.
But you can
I
just
did.
replace them with, if you have Alias at home, whatever other cards, or you can just use the app on the phone to generate words. You can play this copy in any language,
Good. Yeah. I
basically.
guess you could as long as you had a way to get the words. So,
Yeah.
it's a good game. I like this one. I approve.
Approve. Kemet, Blood and Sand.
I approve.
Wait, no, I don't like conflict games usually, to be honest. This one is the
There's
rare.
no conflict in Kemet.
Oh, not at all. You just smack each other. Look, look, I really like this pyramid building and the technology. There's a lot of Euro game going on there. The engine building within those technology tiles is amazing. Getting the monsters, the theme, I really like it. And the conflict doesn't bother me because this is all about I attack you this turn, you attack me next turn. We just punch at each other all the time, so it
Yeah.
doesn't feel personal. Like in some of the games, sometimes it feels personal. They take that element, they feel personal because
Oh, I see.
like with some of the games, let's say if you have a choice, let's say I play it with my friends and they have a choice to maybe bash the leader, but what they do, they're like, oh, but you learned the game, like you own the game, you probably know it better than we do. I'm like, I'm playing it for the first time as well with you here. I mean, like, what are you doing? And then they're gonna bash me because I'm the owner of the game. This kind of a personal thing. Like, oh, you are more experienced of a player. No, you should never base any of that based on this criteria. But in Kemet, you will not just attack somebody to for any personal reasons, because otherwise the other player would just win. It's like you constantly attack the one who is more threat to you within this particular time or round or whatever.
Or the one who's weaker so that you can get that point.
Yeah. And
You want to win.
and if I have only 2 soldiers, you attack me because I'm weaker here. I'm fine with that because I would do the same. It's like this one is so conflict that it overcomes this kind of a conflict issue for me. Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy Kemet. It was a very big success with me and my brother and sister. So, the new edition, this Blood in the Sand edition, fixes my one biggest problem with Old Kemet in that it comes with enough player aids so that everybody can interpret the symbols.
Yes, I approve. Do you approve?
I do.
Okay. The next game, Last Aurora, which I think I like more than you do.
You do, but I enjoy it quite a lot.
So this one is, oops. So this one, yeah, it's about movement on the board, and then you build up your cards. Basically, you get more cards into your collection. Then you have your truck that you can also upgrade, etc. All the resources that must fit into your truck. The
As
card
must your
that have-
people.
the people, yeah, and at least I mean each people card corresponds to a real meeple, and the expansions. I have all the expansions, which are extra maps, but then it's like they are not compatible with each other like fully, because when you use a particular module, you need to use particular cards for that. You cannot use all the cards at once. There's the story cards as well, etc., which are a hit or miss, to be honest.
That's what you said.
But I like them, but other players hate them. I like some random in such games, but yeah, this is a really cool, and I think the expansion maps are better than the base map,
Oh, okay.
in my opinion. Yeah, it was more fun.
Good. I enjoy this game. I was hesitant about this game, but I think you brought me around on it, and I've actually had a good time with it. So
Nice. Do you approve?
I do.
Nice. All right, so Living Planet, the next one, which I'm the one who seems to love this game.
Yeah, you do. It's another one of your games.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the production, I like this metal dice. The thing is that I like the dice are not rolled. You use the cards which have dice on them, and it's this
Yes.
simultaneous action selection. And depending on what others choose, will influence you as well. And these numbers are not only action points; they're also possible cataclysms, etc. In this game, people when they first play it, they wrongly they don't understand the concept of the game. And the concept of the game, I'll tell you, is to
Is stock market.
the stock market. True. It's all about, like, you get a lot of money, so money is points, and you get it by excavating resources and then selling them. But you have to be very tactical in this game. Like, people start building up and they forget that it's not about building up. It's about build your excavator here, do a little bit excavating, then just run away from there, build somewhere else. It's constantly all of these cataclysms, etc. So when I play with some people for the first time, and I tell them that don't get stuck in one place. Be more tactical about your placements. And if something is destroyed, leave it there. Sometimes it must be destroyed.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. Like, you don't have to save everything, because you will use your time and resources, extra resources. But will it give you enough benefit, or will you just, go build somewhere else while this one is destroyed? Like, you have to abandon some things, and people still don't listen to me, and they do the mistakes, and then they lose the game. It's long. It's a long game. I'm not too many rounds. It has too many rounds. We just play the shorter version. We play, I think, like 9 rounds instead of 12, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And the expansions are great, but they are brutal. The water expansion is so brutal. If you want to experience dread and depression, etc., it's still fun.
That's why I come to games. Dread and depression.
Yeah. All right. Do you approve?
I approve. I give you
thank
sort of
you.
a soft approval on this one. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't blown away with it like you were.
Now, the first play I had, I didn't like it as much, and then the more I played, the more I liked it. And one thing else is that forget about Archipelago. This is not Archipelago. Don't search for Archipelago in this game. This is not the spiritual successor. It has common traits. It has common mechanisms somewhat. But when I turned off my Archipelago desire, I enjoyed the game much more.
I would agree with that.
All right. The next one, The Last Expedition. Yet
Another one of your games. Yeah,
But it's fun.
it's not bad. It's okay.
It's so easygoing. It's like just symbols. People sometimes like at first you need to say that yellow ones are events. You need to do them. The red ones choose one option, and then the blue ones are totally optional. And you have those three survivors. There are a common resource, basically. I would say, yeah, you need to get from the first jungle card to the last jungle card. And I like playing those cards out, and you need to play them in the order of the numbers, and then during the evening you play them in the order whatever you play them in. And it's kind of the silent communication between players, because you cannot discuss the cards you have in your hand. I just love it because it's so simple. And there's the expansion as well, which I have. I played the expansion, some tiny modules, which adds a bit to the game. So yeah, why not? But the base game is also fun. It's a co-op game as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I enjoy it. I don't know that I've ever had as much fun with it as you have. I've played it a lot of times, and I don't have anything against it. I just don't know that it's as much as you seem to think that it is.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
fine.
that's okay. I will give you a small approval.
Thank you. All right. What about the Lost Ruins of Arnak with the expansion?
I'll give you a big approval.
A big approval. Yeah. So it's kind of like a deck builder. I would say it's more hand management. You kind of build the deck, but it's a small thing. Worker placement. There's a lot of worker placement. There's track movements. It just all of these juicy Euro things in one box, and how they
Sure.
correlate to each other, how they work with each other. And the expansion adds this symmetry to the gameplay.
Yes, it does.
The extra tracks, extra cards, and the symmetry is cool because you feel different from everybody else when you start the game. And yeah, I just really like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I was very excited about it right when it came out, and it's not disappointed me.
All right.
And the solo
Uh-huh.
campaign that you can use with the app is really good.
Okay. I
So,
don't play solo, but
well,
I'll take
I
it for
do.
granted. You do. Anyway, let's get to the next one, which is Lunar Base. This is a small. I need to do a review for this game, but this is from Estonian designers, so it's not the best thing, but it's fine. It's good.
The box is
It
that
has
big.
some really cool ideas how you connect the cards with those circles, and those circles become discounts to for the future cards, because the circles are basically like the currency, and
Sure.
yeah, it has the cost, and there are some take that cards, and it's all about I need to you need to get to one of or two of the three winning conditions, and then at the same time to stop the other players from doing the same. Yeah.
I was surprised at how much I liked this, and it's a very tiny box. So
But I agree with some of the people who say it's too short. You don't feel
it
like you built
can
something up.
end. It can end abruptly because there are
Yeah.
the four different winning conditions.
Yeah. All right. It's very light. The next one, Micro Macro Crime City, and I think I want to buy the extra stuff as well because. And I was looking at this game like, I don't know if I need. I didn't buy it myself. I got it as a
Ah,
gift.
I
And
see.
then at some point I played with somebody, and I'm like, oh, this is more fun than I would have imagined, because when I look at this one, this is not fun. Where's Waldo is not fun. Um, but this one, solving the crime and you searching amongst all of these, um, all of that map. It's a huge map. It's the whole table size map, and I don't know. It somehow works, though it should be so dull and so uninspiring. It works.
I like it. I mean, I like it for something to do for 10, 15 minutes with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had an amazing game that made me think, "Oh, this is just the greatest game ever."
No,
But
no.
it's an interesting thing to do,
Yeah, it's
and it's
different.
nice to kind of see and appreciate the way that the artwork is drawn. In sort of the kind of places at multiple places at one time, and it has a nice feel of discovery. So I'll approve.
And when I pull it out, I don't have to explain any of the rules.
That's true. There are really no rules.
Well, just so there's a
Except
question.
don't peek at the cards.
Yeah, there's a
That's
question. It
that's the
says
rule.
it says where you start, and then you just follow the pictures, try to figure it out.
Sure. Hmm.
Boom, we're already playing. Um, Nemesis. Ooh, Nemesi or whatever. I'm sorry,
Nemesis.
Nemesis. uh, Nemesis is Aliens, the board game, but they didn't want to pay for the IP, so they made their own. Uh,
Sure.
but, I mean, like it's a huge game. There's a lot of rules.
It
It's
is. There
fiddly as
are.
hell, fiddly as hell. But each time I play it, it's a story that unfolds. It's a story to remember. It's so cinematic. It's so random. You can get the queen on the round two, but you don't care. And when you die, you're laughing, a hellish laugh, and and you can play it semi-co-op. And this is where semi-co-op is done much better than a winter, where in here you're cooperating, but you have your own desires. Let's say nobody's really a trader here. It's just everybody wants their own. It has their own need. It's like a Dead of Winter with those hidden gold cards, but without the trader. But this one is
Okay.
works better. But now I play it usually as a co-op game. The full co-op, it's a variant at the back of the rulebook, because in co-op mode you can get eliminated in this game and then like you're done. Go
Yes.
watch Netflix. In cooperative game, first of all, you will be more engaged in other players, you know, success.
Hmm.
Even if you're eliminated, they're like, "Oh, I hope you will still survive, and then we'll win the game," kind of spiritually. And the other thing is that you can be revived, and by being revived, and I got revived several times, and I revived because you find the operation room. If you bring the corpse into the operation room, you will, you know,
Sure.
uh, stand back up. Okay.
Hmm.
That Nemesis, amazing, amazing, amazing. Love it.
Yeah, it's good. You talked about it enough that I finally eventually played it, and it was a rare experience in that it's a game that was taught to me. I usually have to read the rule books and teach it, so I had a different learning experience than I normally do, and I enjoyed that as well.
Nice. All right.
I approve.
Nidavellir.
I
I
approve.
haven't. I haven't tried the expansion. There's, I think, the second expansion has come out or will come out.
I like it.
But the base
It
game,
evolved.
um, coins. You exchange the coins. You use the coins for bidding to get the cards, and they have different kind of scoring mechanisms, but almost the same. It's like this is multiplying by that thing. This multiply by that thing. This works like that, and then you get some awards during the game, and then you continue, and then get the high score. Um, I like this coin system. How with the zero you can exchange the coins that are in your pocket. So sometimes you're be strategic about that, and it's such a simple game that engages you and works well. Yeah.
I love Nidavellir. It was one of my favorite games of the year it came out, which I guess was 2020. I've always it's never really misfired for me. So,
Mm. Mm.
and
Fine.
I like both of the expansions. Neither of them is a major change, but they're
Mm-hmm.
both a positive change. They give you something else to think about.
Okay. Yeah, I have the first expansion, so we'll see when I try.
Too many symbols. That's the only complaint I would say, especially in the second expansion.
True. I mean, like expansions, I don't know, but even in the base game, there's not enough symbols. All right,
There are quite a few.
let's get to Paleo with the expansion, of
I
course.
approve.
The farm is fine, but I can play without the farm as well and play with the modules and things. So it's just a lot of fun. Just pulling these cards, you have a deck of cards, you just pull 3 cards in the same order they are. They're like you choose one to go to, and you can only see the backs of the cards. So this is the dream card, this is the forest card, this is the mountain card. You are kind of thinking like, I will probably get something in there. I hope to get the particular stuff, but then sometimes it's danger. Sometimes it's not what you expect. Sometimes it's the story element. And all of the modules that you can mix and match, the modules give you some extra cards like footprints in the snow, whatever. Like, should I follow the footprints in the snow? Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. You don't really know. And all the inventions and stuff, it's cooperative. It's just a lot of fun. I played it during the cruise as like I was with Victor, and we're like, let's learn this paleo. But then
Victor already
somebody,
knew it.
I wasn't sure if
Well,
somebody else explained it to us. Maybe he didn't know
okay.
to explain it. Maybe like he just played it, but he doesn't remember all the rules. But like we got
Sure.
another person to explain it for us, and we played it the first time. I think we won, and then we tried another scenario right away, or another module mixing right away, because like it was it's so much fun. Let's try again.
Hmm.
It's a rare case when I play 2 games in a row of the same game. I usually try to try different games.
Well, I mean, so do I. I really enjoy Paleo, and I know Victor and I have played it a ton. So that's how I know he already would have known the rules. But he might not have remembered them all to teach them.
All right.
And also, the rule book is not great. It is the
Yeah,
most randomly organized rule book, and it's two that you'll find.
it's not bad, but it's not great either. Yeah,
It's not great. Anyway,
yeah.
I approve.
All right, Scythe.
I approve.
And I don't want to. I have everything for Scythe. I mean, like not everything, but every kind of a more essential expansion, like metal. What they are, mechs.
The metal mechs. You have
Yeah,
those?
I don't care. I don't care about that.
Oh, okay. I was
I,
going to
I
say, I own them, but that's not something for everybody.
yeah. But I mean, like all the expansion except the modular board. I still haven't.
Meh.
I was like, I don't need this one. I look at this board. I'm like, should I buy it or not? But I don't feel like I need this one. Yeah.
It's not amazing.
But Scythe is amazing,
Yes, it is.
especially with the Rise of Fenris expansion. This is the one that makes this game great. Yeah. Let's get to
Yeah,
the
it's
next
good.
one.
I like it.
So the Search for Planet X, I have not played yet. I do have it in my collection.
Oh, okay. It's
it's
just
a
sitting there.
deduction logic game. No, I
It
just
is.
didn't have time to play it because it seems to be. It's a little bit like when I read the rule book. It's. I think either it's not the best rule book
It's not.
or it's complicated.
It's
It's
not. It's not complicated, and the rule book is not great. It's one that you kind of have to set it up and play. In fact, you can play the solo game as a good way to learn the rules. Um,
mm, mm-hmm.
it's a rough one to learn from the rule book, just because they use a lot of terms that won't make sense until you've actually seen them in action.
Yeah, it seems so. It seems so. Yeah. Anyway, hoping for a great game.
Yeah, I like it.
Seize the Bean. Now this one,
Oh,
I had this one as a prototype copy. I think all of these pictures are still a prototype, probably. But anyway, doesn't really matter. I have all of the stuff for this game because I
yeah,
got this as a present from this company.
sure. I need to
Um,
play this game.
it's
It's
deck building,
it's not
it's
really
action
available.
selections, worker placement. No, yeah, it's a small company. They are.
And they don't have any distribution. I would love to actually get a copy of this one, but um,
Yeah. No, it will be hitting retail. I think next year. Like they had a lot of problems with the Kickstarter. Like they were tweaking this one,
It,
and there it was like 3 or 4 years in production.
mhm.
It was so long in
Yeah,
production.
it feels like this has been around forever, but I know it was kind of new at Essen this year.
But
So,
all of the expansions, the modules you can put in here, I mean, like, oh, there's a ton of content. I don't know, infinitely replayable in my opinion, because there's so much going on. The production is great. The edition I have is a kind of a super deluxe kind of a thing edition, and I even have a card of me there. It's like a
I
modular
know you
expansion.
told me.
Yeah, it's Würfel reviews. The board game media kind of a thing there, and so the retail version will be much less. I mean, like some of the things will stay, and some of the things will be like a retail. They will. I think they will not produce any more of this super deluxe version.
Oh, I want
Yeah,
the super deluxe version.
there's changes of super deluxe versus yeah. I don't think you will be able to get them there. Maybe
Well, that's
on
what
their
he paid
website.
for.
I don't know.
No, their website sucks. Um,
The game is great. Let's get to the next one.
all right,
Silver of, and all of these silver editions are the same entry.
fair enough.
And
I'll
if
give
you
you
don't
that one.
approve, then shut up. No,
I hate silver.
shut up.
Oh wait,
Uh,
no, I love silver.
okay, don't shut up. Tell me more. So this is a memory game, and I'm not the biggest fan of memory games, but this one I like because you draw a card, it does something, or you exchange it, whatever. Um, Reading the cards and the cards themselves, the powers are not fully explained on the cards. Sometimes there are some things that you need to read from the rule book, and some of those
Especially in
cards
the
have
zombies.
yeah, and some of those cards have a full page text. Like on the card, you have 2 sentences, and then you have a whole page of explanation for this card. I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of that. This is a bad thing. They should have streamlined every possible card as much as possible, but still a fun game.
I like this game a lot. It's one of my go-to travel games. It works really well with with different player counts. It rarely misses for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next one, which is Similo, and this this is something I just when I know somebody who doesn't play games that much or something like that, something really easy, like extremely easy. This is Similo. I don't really have to explain the game. It's just play it. It's so easy to understand to play. It's all about hinting. You need to find that particular card amongst the 12 cards,
Right.
and each round you eliminate more and more cards, and you hint towards that card with other cards.
Yep.
And it's like Mysterium. One is a hint giver, and the other ones are trying to decide on which cards they get rid of till the only one is left. And it has like it's like this discovery. It has not discovery timeline kind of a series. It's the same. It has several themes. It's more of an
Yeah. Oh,
activity than
okay,
a
like
game.
that.
It's more of an activity than like it's not a huge game. It's like half activity, half game. Like for example, Timeline is very much an activity. I hesitate to call it a full game. Yeah, but this one works.
I enjoy it. Did you get your Harry Potter version?
Yeah, I got Harry Potter
Okay.
and Fantastic Beasts, and then I got I think Fables,
Okay.
Historic People, and maybe something else.
I'd say get those. Get the animals. The animals mix really well with
Was
the other
not
decks.
available.
Oh, okay.
I
You should
got
get the
whatever I could.
domesticated animals like the bear.
Yes, and chicken.
Well, chickens are domestic. Um,
Well, but I think it was bear and chicken on the same
yeah,
cover.
that's
So
what's on
that,
the cover.
yeah.
There's wild animals and like animals, and it's just funny that the bear is not a wild animal. Um,
What I like about this game, it has this small facts on the side of the card. you can read.
Very small, but yeah. And those are helpful if you don't know who the person is, which sometimes happens.
Oh, yeah. If, sometimes I'm like, who's that? Anyway, Skull is a bluffing game. This is a pop game basically, yeah. But
Yeah.
the biggest problem I have is that this one, the the production uh value is so low. If it is
Mm.
coasters, they should have been plasticky or something like that. So because they wear off so easily, and if they wear off,
We're out.
sorry, wear out. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Then you might just throw the copy away because it will ruin the game. If it
Sure.
if because it's a bluffing game, you put the things face down, and if a particular card is like the corner or something is torn, then you know exactly what it is. Yeah, I hate that. They should have made a much cooler production with this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could make your own out of a bunch of coasters at a bar, but it's an okay game. I enjoy it, but it's not. I don't know that bluffing's my favorite kind of mechanism in games, and since that's really all this is, I don't know that it makes me feel excited. I would
Mm-hmm.
never feel satisfied if this were the only game we had played, but it's an okay game.
Okay, so stockpile. Yeah, I love it.
You do like this game.
It's amazing. I play with poker chips here. I also play with the poker chips. Easier than handling the money, but the card money is also fine. But I like the bidding. I like
Small.
the manipulating the stock and all this. You know, speculations of. I like it with the expansion where it has the dice and the speculations they change each round. The numbers change, how it goes up and down, and all the things. I just really like this game. It's an amazing game.
You definitely do, and I like it too. So I will approve.
Thank you. All right, Switch and Signal, which I got recently, which is a train co-op game, and it works fine. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I was kind of surprised. I thought I would like
Okay.
it less.
Yeah, looking at the cover, I think I would like it less.
But did you try it? Have you
I've
tried it?
not played it. It looked boring, so I didn't buy it.
Oh, it looks
Um,
boring. Oh, it is. No, it's not boring. I mean, I really like how the dice are those different trains, how they move, how to you have to manipulate them, and switch these different switchers and stuff, and the the green lights and red lights, and switch the track so the trains will not collide with anything, etc., and they will get the goods into the right city. It was fun.
okay.
Oh,
I can't speak to this at all.
you approve. Okay.
Uh,
Tabanusi, Builders of
ooh,
Ur. Um, this is the one which is a review copy, and I have not tried it yet. It
oh,
seems to be
it's
a
been a
heavy Euro
year.
game.
Yeah, and
I
a boring one. Um,
yeah, I don't know. I've not tried it, so
I mean,
doesn't count towards my collection. Doesn't
oh,
count.
I see. Okay. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not the best from this series.
Okay, okay, we'll see. We'll see. Another review copy that doesn't count towards my collection right now because I need to play and make a review of it first. Now
Okay,
this
I haven't played this one.
is Terracotta Army. I just like these figures, and I don't
They
know.
look nice.
They look nice, yeah, and they fairly the box is totally full because of this kind of a inside box thing going on there.
Oh, okay.
It just takes all the space in the box, so all the pieces are cramped together in the box right now. It's totally full, but I mean, like, who cares?
Hmm.
It fits. I don't know what to say about this game because I've not tried it. It seems to be a T
Oh,
series heavy Euro game. Whatever.
yeah,
No, I'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I like
maybe. I don't know anything about it, so I can't say.
Terraforming Mars.
It's also a T
Harvest
game.
Harvest Expedition. Yes, it's a TM game. Um, I love this implementation of Terraforming Mars much more than Terraforming Mars. Maybe because it's more peaceful. There are no take that cards, and also I like the action selection mechanism from
Hmm.
like Race for the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, where depends on what somebody else chooses, you can do the same stuff, but as a if you chose it, you can do an extra thing, and eventually you build up a lot of cards and things. And I'm waiting for the expansions, which will come out probably in 3 months, something like that.
Uh-huh.
I think they're not on the boat still; they are still in production. So
Well, that happens. I'm interested. I mean, I like this game a lot, so I'm excited about the expansions.
great, Trophy Mars, Harris Expedition. Do you approve?
I approve.
Great. Now, Underwater Cities. This is the one that basically killed Terraforming Mars for me. I
Ha!
I don't
Okay.
say that they're the same, but they give me a similar vibe for some reason. Probably this card play and this building of the map or something like that. I don't know. They do feel a little bit similar, but I really like this worker placement meets the card play, and how you if you match the colors you get something extra, and how you build up these tunnels and cities and the buildings around it so you can get a lot of production. And I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. Of course, the expansion is great, especially the production side of that expansion, the boards with the dual layer boards, but also other stuff like some modules and the museum module is fine. The the start of the game where you can, I think you start from round two right away, but you already have some cards and they are like a little bit of a symmetry going on there as well. I like that. Yeah,
Yep,
amazing game.
it is. I very much enjoy this game.
You approve? Great.
I do.
All right, Valley of the Kings Premium Edition. We have Premium Edition. This is the game that I also really enjoy and love from the earlier times when I had these separate first edition copies as separate standalone copies. This has bigger cards, etc., and all the stuff in one box, a bigger box. But this is a traditional deck building game for me. It's like my go-to deck building game if I want something traditional, except maybe Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. But I play it only with that particular group of people. This one I play with anyone, and yeah, I like the facts underneath the cards. It just the decision between burying the card versus using it. But then if you don't bury it on time, then you will not score points for that card. You only score points for the cards you're burying in the top. And it's a great, I think it's a great mechanism.
Yeah, I like this game. I again not I don't love it as much as you do, but I like the new edition, and I'll approve.
Thank you. Now,
They
World
did take
Wars.
three very tiny boxes and make them one huge box.
Yeah.
I
Vault Wars with the
don't
expansion. I do.
approve.
I do have the expansion though, the Relic Roadshow, I think, which basically adds. So basically, when in this game, it's like Storage Wars. If you know the theme and how
Oh, I know.
you bid on stuff. You don't. You know, maybe you've seen partially what's in there. Sometimes it's junk there. Sometimes it's good stuff. Then you sell it. Or you equip it. Whatever. It's a fantasy version of that. Now the expansion adds relics, and I don't fully approve on some of the mechanism of that expansion, but it still makes it the base game more fun because now not only the first place who bids the highest gets something, but the second place gets also something, which is great. Two people get stuff instead of just one person. But you don't approve. but I still love the game.
Yeah, I really don't like the game, so that's why I don't approve. But hey, you can like it if you like. And I know
I
you do because you talk about it all the time.
I got rid. No, I don't talk about it all the time. I got rid of this game, and then when they came up with the Kickstarter for the expansion, I got this game back, the base game plus the expansion, because I got rid of this game. Like, I need the expansion, or else I'm gonna burn it. No, kidding. Anyway,
Oh,
the last
very
one,
well.
Wingspan. I'm not even gonna talk about Wingspan that much. It's Wingspan. Everybody needs Wingspan in their life. Oh, it's just great. And I have I have this nesting box now, which is
Hmm.
like a huge box, even bigger than
Yes,
the
it
side
is.
box.
Yeah, but
And
it's smaller than the Everdell box. I
okay,
have them sitting on top of each other over here, so I can tell.
but anyway, yeah, Wingspan is an amazing engine building game. Great art. The theme is so different from your usual themes, and the expansions add quite a lot of stuff. I haven't tried the Asia expansion, but I think actually Asia expansion is made specifically for a two-player experience. But you can still
I
mix and
mean,
match them into the base game.
supposedly, but I already mixed it in, so. Uh,
Now there's 3,000 cards, and I'm like, oh my god, some
yeah,
birds you will never see.
that's true. Uh,
All right. So the last one is Vagrant Song that I recently got because I could not get it. I could not get it because it's so hard to find it. And when I found it, I was like, I need to buy it right now before it the stock runs out. I have not
sure.
played it, but I've heard many great things about this game,
It's great.
and I'm hoping to try it. This is a boss fight uh, with asymmetric powers, co-op, whatever cool theme game.
Yep. The only look, I love Vagrant Song. I love almost everything about it.
And campaign as
My
well.
only complaint are one, the rule book's a little bit bad. There's some parts you're just gonna
I've heard.
kind of things are kind of organized oddly, but also the campaign aspect. I wish there were rules to just kind of open to any scenario and play them. I mean, you can
Hmm.
do that; no one's going to stop you, but you won't have the upgrades, and so I don't know that there's a mechanism that there's currently rules to kind of get enough upgrades to put you in the right space to play the scenarios because it really is 20 or so
Okay.
scenarios, and I just wish because the first scenario is not all that interesting if you've played it a few times. I mean,
Hmm.
first time it's great, the second time it's okay, and then whereas some of the later ones are amazing.
Okay. Anyway, we'll see. So this was the last one. So you can
Okay,
go to my geek list, my 50 games policy 2023. The link to the geek list is in the description of the video,
how
and
convenient.
you can comment on those picks and give your opinions on those games, etc. But yeah, it's I have a little bit over 50, so I need to decide on what I get rid of. So, but the hunger is very much there, and maybe a few others. I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe I don't know. Forgotten Waters. I want to play all the scenarios first. It's so hard. I'm not sure if I will get rid of anything.
You
But
could
during
always
January,
change the policy to a 75 games policy.
no, never. No, but I'll think about that. We'll see how it goes.
Uh-huh.
I'll give myself time till January to decide.
I mean, you've got till the end of January because you're coming here in the middle of January,
Yeah. All
and
right,
you might find more games you need while on the cruise.
true. All right, but this is it for today's show. Thank you for
It
watching,
is.
and Happy New Year.
Likewise.
We'll see you. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be next year. We're going to see you next year. Oh my god.
Well, and I'll be back on Wednesday to
But
round
next
out
year.
my yes, to round out my top 22 of 2022 list. Um,
22222.
and
Yes.
yeah, there you go. It's the best time to ride a train at 2:22 because it goes 222.
I'll play Switch and Signal with you. All right.
Is that a promise or a threat?
That's a promise for a threat when I come.
I see. Okay.
All right. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you another time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.